All right, guys, what's up? It's Justin Kahn back with another Fractal Radio. Today I am joined by Castle and Enzo, the two founders of Galactic Goons. How are you guys doing?
Feeling good. Happy to be here.
How's it going, Justin?
Amazing. Thanks for joining. So, give us a summary. Like, what are you guys building? Tell us about the game.
Yeah, sure. I'll kick things off. So we are Galactic Goons. We've got 2 out of 3 founders here today. The Galactic Goons themselves are actually this band of intergalactic mercenaries who've essentially ditched their previous employers for this new life on the blockchain. And they've kind of crash landed into a metaverse and found themselves fighting for supremacy across this vast metropolis where it's less about wholesome adventures and more about getting up to mischief and wreaking some havoc. In terms of what we're really doing, we're building this alternative metaverse with a more degen NFT community undertow to it. It's a sort of chaotic twist on the traditional concept of a metaverse social hub. And we have quite a long pipeline of content planned for the project. First and foremost, we're going to be building this gaming social hub, but a big part of that is going to be our Galactic Goons safe houses, where this is part of a secondary collection that's tied to our avatars, where our players can add their own touch to the galactic ecosystem. But we'll cover that in a little bit more detail later. Once we've established the hub and the personal spaces, later in the pipeline, we have plans to expand into a play-to-earn gaming franchise. So we're covering a really broad range of GameFi products with some big opportunities to integrate DeFi applications and land acquisition and other kind of essential ecosystem developments. And all of this is going to combine to create this fun, unique, and carefree GameFi experience that's really tied into the NFT community.
Awesome. And how did you guys come up with this? How did you end up in the space?
Well, I've always been a big gamer, but my background is actually in engineering. I was previously a CAD engineer, CAD designer in the aerospace sector. And when I saw this Web3 NFT gaming movement, I saw an opportunity to break into the space early and start building something unique. It just seems supernatural to want to tie, in-game ownership of assets to real people, and the blockchain gives us the freedom to do that. And I'll hand it over to Castle.
Thanks, Enzo. So I come from a banking and finance background. So my specialties is structuring deals, negotiating deals, and pricing risk. So most of my time is spent fundraising and capital raising for institutional clients across the private equity and infrastructure space. Just to add on to Enzo's point, I think we should highlight we're not just building a game, we're building a brand and a franchise. And to do that, we have to have a proper art collection. Our project started from art before we even considered expanding into game. So it's a full production process where we've done it properly from the start, because we are selling to an NFT community. We're not just selling to pure gamers.
Gotcha. So how did it evolve? Like, you started off, it's like an NFT collection, and then tell me about how you have decided to build a game and how the project took that direction.
The game was always in the pipeline, but I think for us, what was important was to make it original as much as possible. So that started from the art, the concept, and what we were all about. So we spent probably a month or two just getting the art ready, getting our lore ready, what we're about, what our brand is about. And then once we nailed that down, then we started focusing on building out these models, animating them, and getting them ready for Unreal Engine.
All right, like, without further ado, let's get into the demo. I want to see what you guys have been building. You have a streamable demo, right?
Of course, let's get right into it. Just before we start, I should point out, so we're going to be showing off some alpha content of our secondary collection, the Galactic Safe Houses. But our first mint will be the Galactic Goons themselves, the avatars. We're currently in the process of porting those to Unreal Engine, building out all the animations like walking, running, shooting, crouching, and optimizing all that for smooth gameplay. We have over 100 unique traits in the collection to pull into the engine, and each one takes quite a bit of optimizing and testing and tweaking before it's properly ready for a third-person showcase. And on top of that, we do have a city test environment in the works where you can run around as an avatar pick up a couple of weapons and test the shooting mechanic, and even drive around in a vehicle. But it's still in a very early alpha state, so we're going to hold off sharing that for now. But that is going on behind the scenes, and you can really get a feel for what it's like if you actually take a scroll on the website and have a look at some of the renders that we have on there. It really paints a picture of the style of the metropolis and the characters that are going to be in it. For today, we're going to be sharing a little bit of version 0 of our safe house concept. We've been building in the Unreal Engine 5 preview for the past few months. We wanted to scale things up and future-proof, so we're taking advantage of the new tech like Nanite and Lumen, and the results so far have been really fantastic. Even better, Unreal Engine 5 has just come out of preview and is now production ready. So that's good news for the Galactic Goons. Like I said, we're still working on bringing the Goons into this for that third-person perspective. But for now, I'm in first person, and you can really see, how great UE5 is at light management and, these high-quality textures. Speaking of high quality, there's actually a funny story behind our first safe house concept. It was too good at one point. Isn't that right, Castle? Maybe you want to have a quick chat about the level designer we're using for the safe houses.
Definitely. So she's been working with us for about 2 months now, and she built this up from scratch. So why she's good for building out our gaming metaverse is she comes from an architectural background. So in the real world, she specializes in 3D modeling for concept drawings for commercial real estate, shopping centers, the whole gambit of architectural design. She calls it architectural visualization, so ArcViz. And I think she's perfect for building out our metaverse. So this was we had a few iterations before we got to this point. The initial draft she showed us, which we also showed David, was a very beautiful apartment. It was like a 5-star hotel, and then we had to tell her to tone it down a bit to make it more gangster vibes for our goons.
Yeah, it's definitely the lighting and the textures that really make this pop.
Yeah, the lighting's incredible.
So this is our concept for the bottom tier Galactic Safe House. We do have multiple tiers in the works, but you can see even in the lowest bracket, we've got this kind of premium feel. And we really want the metaverse aspect of our project to be a step above what's currently out there in terms of graphics and detail, but still tied together with this notion of a chaotic struggle between the goons.
I like that I like how you guys got put the bar right next to the weapon rack. It's like very, very responsible.
Yeah, we definitely think the metaverse needs more guns.
Awesome. So you'll be able to throw, have other people come into your space and interact with other, members of this community. Is that right?
So our focus is PvP to earn. So all the game titles we'll be introducing into this metaverse and integrating as we continue to build will be focused on PvP. So in addition to the social space, that you're able to host, private gaming sessions here. If you want to have a 2v2 party, you invite your friends here, and you can think about this as your waiting room or your lobby. But instead of a 2D browser, you're actually in a metaverse waiting for the game to load or waiting for people to join your lobby before you start the match.
Exactly. You can think of this as your own customizable piece of the Galactic Metaverse where you can invite your friends, gear up your avatars, show off your in-game wealth, and rep the NFT communities you're a part of. Imagine loading up a pre-game lobby with your buddies and showing this off to the opposing team before the match starts.
Cool. It looks good. I mean, I would want to hire your architect friend to design my house. This is pretty cool. So tell us what else is on the roadmap. What's the process to release all of the stuff that you have planned? Seems like you have a lot of work streams going on.
Yeah, right now we're pretty deep in community building and getting the socials off the ground. We're just putting the finishing touches on our first game trailer, so that's gonna kind of highlight where the goons came from and their crash land into the metaverse. And then it's moving on. We're going to go to our first mint. So our avatar collection, we've got 7,500 of our unique Goon avatars coming up on Fractals. We've got our web developer and blockchain engineer working on our staking platform for our pre-IDO staking contract. Getting all our entities set up for the IDO phase, where we're going to be launching a token offering to private and public investors. Meanwhile, we're continuing development on a playable game demo that's going to be, released as a showcase, prior to the IDO event. That's really where the bulk of the work is going in at the moment. We have quite a large team working on bringing in all the assets and doing all the mechanical work to make this playable and make this something that you'll be able to download and have a test drive before we go to that public token sale. After that kind of phase 3 IDO section, after the NFT mints, we'll move into the phase 4 game development and blockchain integration. So that's going to be where we'll have live staking with real tokens. We'll have our social hub and metaverse real estate launch. We'll have our in-game asset marketplace, partnerships with external P2E games, DeFi integration, and then finally, the big flagship first PvP arena in the Galactic Games is going to be our first-person shooter. So that's where the whole play-to-earn part of the franchise begins. And longer down the road, we have plans for future game expansions into things like combat, racing, arcade, game expansions, including things like new environments, maps, game modes, platforms, all that good stuff. And long term, we have a vision of making this multi-chain and really being on the cutting edge of gamified development.
Awesome. And so tell us about the first mint that you're doing with Fractal. Thank you for partnering with us.
Absolutely. So our first mint, the Genesis Goons collection, is it's an avatar type collection. There's going to be 7,500 of them. We've got a mint price set at 1.5 Sol and a date for late April. So we're still pencil on the date right now, but it's going to get firmed up pretty soon.
Really excited to see the collection launch. So what's the utility behind one of these Goon avatars?
We've got 5 main sort of categories of utility. So the first obviously is the art itself. These are original concepts created by the founders. We've got the community access, so you'll gain access to our holder community, which will always be managed directly by the founders. We've got the PvP to earn future development, so that's going to give you access to the Galactic Games and our play to earn reward pools. In the more near term, we have an NFT staking contract in the works. So there will be a staking reward pool tied directly to the avatar collection. And that's going to be active during the game development phase of the project. And finally, having an avatar is actually a ticket to the Genesis Safe House Mint. So all of our holders will be eligible to mint one of our safe houses.
Gotcha. Awesome. And where can people find out more about Galactic Goons online?
The best place to start is our website, galacticgoons.io. You'll find a link to our Twitter there, where we show a lot of sneak peeks and share some of the artwork from the collection. We do have a white paper release. It's not out at the time of this recording, but I expect by the time this goes live, it'll be on the website, so you can get into the real detail of what we're building here. If you want to talk to us directly, you can reach out on Twitter and also the Discord.